Good morning. Today I am making my Eggs Benedict Easter Sunday. This is a great brunch breakfast. I have already made my hollandaise sauce, and it's packaged hollandaise sauce. But unfortunately, you didn't get to see that because I just learned a valuable lesson, and that is if you turn the camera on but don't hit the start button, it doesn't film anything. So you didn't get to hear my original introduction or see me make this delicious hollandaise sauce. Alright, so we're going to have a potato. Typically most restaurant Eggs Benedict breakfast will come with some type of a hash brown potato. Usually they're going to be potatoes O'Brien with onions and green peppers, or perhaps just regular hash browns or scallop potatoes in many instances. So I'm going to use a red potato. I like red potatoes fried. So we're going to chop this up. We're going to be using 2 cast irons, and that one's getting a little on the warmer side. It's starting to smoke. I've already got my oil in there. And this one too is getting pretty hot. So we need to get our potato cut up and get it going in these 2 cast irons. Alright, we got our lovely red potatoes inside the cast iron. Got a couple pieces there. We got a couple pieces there. So the reason I'm using 2 cast iron today is once these potatoes are done, and I like them pretty well done, I'm just going to keep them warm in here because it's going to take a little bit longer to get everything else done. The only seasoning I put on those potatoes is some Lowry seasoning salt. I don't use this very much anymore, but I do like it on red potatoes. And as I've mentioned before, I have cut down way much on using salt and even pepper. So I just sprinkled a little bit on there, not much at all. Okay, my red potatoes have been cooking for probably 6 or so minutes. I can tell by the smell that they are starting to get pretty done on that side. So I need to turn those over, and when you do that, there's going to be popping of grease and everything. So I don't want the camera right here. Alright, so they were a big sizzling mess when I turned them over, because with the lid on there, there's going to be some moisture buildup, but they came out perfect. That's how I like my baby red potatoes fried. So when I said I wanted to protect my camera lens, I wanted to protect it from grease spattering up because it's always kind of in the air. Let's quickly talk hollandaise sauce. This is what I use, the Knorr hollandaise sauce mix. Most restaurants will serve this rather than make it fresh from scratch like I've had to do in the past when I was working at a different job and I was the lead cook for the Sunday brunch. This hollandaise sauce gets a lot of butter. On the back it tells you you're putting in a cup of milk and a 1/4 cup of butter or margarine. That is a lot, but that's really nowhere near what true hollandaise sauce mix will get. I didn't look online to see if there's anybody out there doing hollandaise sauce from scratch. I'm sure there is. When I made it with raw egg yolks, about 12 to 15 yolks, depending on how many people I was cooking for, and it would get close to a quart of clarified butter whipped into that. It's very difficult to make it, but my recipe was the 12 to 15 egg yolks, the quart or so of clarified butter. If I were making it at home, of course, I would be cutting that way down. It also got lemon juice in it, it got Tabasco sauce in it, and I believe some salt. I don't remember about that one. And then the final thing was ground white pepper. If you put regular pepper in it, it would show that in the sauce. So I used white pepper. And I'll admit it, it was a delicious, delicious sauce. But I hope I never have to make it again because it was really difficult. And as far as this package Knorr hollandaise sauce goes, this has been sitting for about 15 minutes. You can still see some steam coming off there. This will hold all right as in a steam table or something for the whole day. But the more that you reheat this and cool it back down, the more it's going to break, so it won't last for very long like many other sauces will. But that's in good shape there. Let's set that aside. Need one English muffin today. My English muffin of choice has always been Ora wheat extra crispy, but we don't want these extra crispy today. I'm only going to be using one, and you would usually heat that up in a pan on the grill. If you were in a restaurant, you'd be doing that. But I'm going to just bring mine up to temperature in the toaster because I don't want it to be too crisp. And then we will need some Canadian bacon. This is what I bought at Winco. It's the only Canadian bacon they sell. It's pretty good stuff. It's hickory smoked, it says. And that's what it looks like out of the package. It's just your typical Canadian bacon that you would find on your Canadian bacon and pineapple pizza and other things. And I'm probably going to take just 2 slices of that per English muffin. Plenty. The final product that we will need will be eggs. We have kind of an egg shortage around here, at least that's what they say, so eggs are coming out kind of small, but these look okay. These look pretty good. We're only going to do 2 of these today, and normally you would poach your eggs, but that means I'd have to get another pan of water out, and I really don't care that much for poached eggs, so these are going to be over medium. Alright, I've taken the potatoes out of the big skillet. I need that to cool down a little bit because that's where I'm going to do my over medium eggs and grill up my Canadian bacon. So I have moved all the red potatoes into this cast iron skillet. And the beautiful thing about cast iron, it'll stay warm for quite a while. So we will set that aside. In fact, we'll just take and put it on this napkin right there so we don't burn our counter. And that will hold those for a good temperature for a long time till I got everything else done. I need to wipe out my big skillet and get it ready to cook some eggs in there. Okay, so I have now put my pieces of Canadian bacon in the skillet, and this is kind of a dangerous thing to do because I'm grilling meat in here, and then I'm going to be immediately cooking over medium eggs. So that's about as far as I want to go. As far as cooking them, I don't want them to be too brittle by any means. The longer they're in there, the brittler they will get. And then I'll be cooking my over medium eggs in there. Okay, my English muffins came out of the toaster. They are toasted just enough. They're not on the crispy side. They need to be pretty soft. So let's go ahead and pull our Canadian bacon out and set it on here and get ready to start our eggs. I need to add a little bit of shortening to the pan to cook those eggs in, and hopefully they're not going to stick too bad. But unfortunately, that's kind of the chance you take with cast iron, especially after cooking some meat in there. So let's go ahead and crack our eggs. When I crack my eggs, I always do it on a flat surface. I'm tempted to do it like that, but they just come apart easier if they're on a flat surface. And I do it one-handed because I have cracked tons, just hundreds of thousands of eggs, honestly. So my stove is not completely level, so they will tend to want to go to one side, but they're doing pretty good there. Can you see those all right? All right, the pan is a little cooler than I wanted. I moved the camera a little bit closer. Those came out really good. We need to clean our spatula off because we got some leftover Canadian bacon on there. These need to be cooked at a lower temperature than you would cook anything else. And so far, it's just a matter of just getting underneath there. And oh, these are coming out beautiful. Look at that. They are very non-stick. I meant to show how the potatoes were so non-stick. I could slide them around in the pan after cooking them on a pretty high temperature. There we go. We got them broke loose. It doesn't take a whole lot of oil in there. You need to have just enough, and if you have too much, then you end up kind of deep frying your eggs. So unfortunately, my English muffin and Canadian bacon are just kind of sitting here getting cold, but that's just part of timing. I don't have a heat lamp. I could have warmed up my oven to help keep that warm, but it's going to be fine. And these are, for me, just about ready to turn over. Nice big fat wide plastic spatula in there. Don't want to have metal in there. Oh, perfect. All right. There we go. That second cup of coffee, actually third cup of coffee, really got me going today, so feeling pretty good. There we go. Just a few more minutes. I've got this on medium-low. Of course, all ovens, and I left that one on, but all ovens are going to be a little bit different. And if you're on, I'm used to cooking on flame. All right, that's about as over medium as I would like. They are in good shape, and they are just so non-stick. So non-stick. Let's plop them down on there. They're probably a little bit runnier than I would normally like, but I'm okay. It's somewhere between. And this egg is stuck to the spatula, unfortunately. All right, there we go. It's not quite the same that you would get in a restaurant with poached eggs. They probably will be using egg cups, poached egg cups, and that way it will be more shaped like the English muffin. But I don't care about that. All right, I've got a different spatula now because I already put the big one into the sink where I am currently doing dishes. So let's get these lovely red potatoes out of here. That's just how I like them. I will probably put some sauce on those at some point. And now it's time for the final thing, and that is the hollandaise sauce. It'll need a little bit mixing up, but this could hold, you could hold this at steam table temperature the whole day easily. So let's go ahead and just get some on. We'll just put a little extra on there. This is going to be a big breakfast. I actually cooked too many potatoes, and when I was prepping that, I thought, man, I don't have enough potatoes, unfortunately. All right, that is my delicious Eggs Benedict breakfast. If you go to a restaurant, you're probably going to get Bordelaise sauce instead of, no, that's not right. It's many restaurants take and put tarragon in their hollandaise sauce, and that makes it into not a Bordelaise, but a oh, what the heck is it called? I can't remember. Oh, Béarnaise sauce. That's it, Béarnaise. I don't like tarragon, so I would never do that, but this is just fine for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. All right, thanks for watching, and it's time for breakfast.